Alright guys, me again. How's it going? Have you missed me? I feel like I haven't done a video for you for ages. Well, I had the weekend, as you do. And then Monday's always my quiet day because it's my boy's smooth day off and that, you know what I mean? So anyway, we're back. We're alright. We've not missed anything. Don't worry about it. We'll soon get caught up. Listen, it's time for another exclusive. All right. Now, I used to call it today's exclusive, but I think I solved the problem, of having more than one exclusive in one day. We'll just call it another exclusive. All right. So this one is interesting, actually. I've glanced at it. I've not gone over it completely, but I know that there's been a big reaction to this, and it's been picked up by all the Twitter twats, the content creators and aggregators, and it's been like, chopped and fucking gurgitated and everything, right? So it's published on givemesport.com, which isn't a very good website, to be honest. And it's authored by Ben Jacobs, who, as a journalist, I don't think very much of him, to be honest with you. He made a name for himself around when FSG last put the club up for sale. I can't remember when that was, guys. I've got a terrible memory. I believe it was November, maybe 23. Was it 22? I think 23. I don't know. It was a while ago. You guys will remember. And he kind of made, let me rephrase that. His profile was raised considerably, I think, during that period, or as a result of that. And also Manchester United being put up for sale as well. He got a lot of followers and a lot of people hadn't heard of him. And he was kind of like publishing exclusives on the Monday and then denying his own exclusives on the Friday. So in other words, you could do an exclusive on Monday saying, guys are being told this. And then by Friday, because nobody can verify, what's the person's claiming, by Friday you could say, oh, that exclusive I told you on Monday, well, it didn't work out. It was a bit like that. And but it's still interesting. I feel like he's trying to emulate Fabrizio Romano. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, it's up to you to form your own opinions on these. Basically, if anyone told me Ben Jacobs is claiming this, usually I'd be like, I don't need to know. Do you know what I mean? So, but it's interesting because he's a little bit high profile. So let's see what he says. But it's contributing to Give Me Sport, but so does Fabrizio. It's very clickbaity as a rule, very stretching, clutching. But let's read the article together and we'll decide what we think at the end of it, right? Now, remember, the more ads, the more bullshit. And I can't read everything out to you because I'm not allowed to do that, right? So I can analyze an article. So I leave out bits that say the obvious. If they're talking about Michael Edwards, which this is, you obviously know who Michael Edwards is. So if there's a paragraph explaining that, I leave it out. You can always compare it to the original if you think that I'm, trying to make something look good or bad. So the exclusive is exclusive. Al-Hilal. I love that name, me. Al-Hilal. Yeah. Approach Liverpool's Michael Edwards over CEO role. Now, he does quite a bit, to do with the football out in that region. And that's a bold statement to make. He's not saying Al-Hilal are interested in. He's saying approach, which is, if you think about it, that's an allegation, an accusation. They have approached, right? Now, if you think about it, before we even get into the article, if you're John Henry reading that and there has been an approach, right? Because this isn't, fucking William Todger or Bill and Ben, the other people that write for these stupid fucking websites. This is Ben Jacobs. I think that the owners, like John Henry, for example, would go, hang on a fucking minute. So does John Henry know about it? That's the first thing I'm thinking about. So he's saying there's been an approach. So if I was John Henry and co now, I'd be like, is there fucking truth in this? Yeah. Has there been an approach and Edwards, relayed that information to someone? Because it's a bit naughty, I think. Right, let's have a look. Let's go through it. Let's see what it says. So basically it says that Edwards has been approached by Al-Hilal. I love that. Yeah, I don't know why I like that one. That one's going to stick, isn't it? To discuss a senior role at the club. The Saudi club are understood The Saudi club are understood hold a firm desire. See, the English is terrible. It's not even being checked. I'm reading exactly what it says. The Saudi club are understood hold a firm desire. Sounds like some sort of fucking rap. To try and appoint Edwards, even though he is relatively new to his current job, having previously been sporting director at Liverpool. I think that English is horrendous. Was he pissed when he wrote this or hungover or something? Let's keep going. Edwards is happy as as FSG CEO of football, but has shown a desire to engage and discuss with President Fahad bin Nafel a potential role for the future. Even though any move is being driven by Hilal. Again, that's another accusation, an allegation. If you think about it, it's a little bit. Well, it's not. It's shit stirring. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he's saying anything wrong here, but to say it has been approached means something must have happened, if true. But Edwards has shown a desire to engage and discuss. I don't think I want to be hearing that if I've just fucking, thrown all my weight, not my weight, behind, but if I was FSG, because they really gave him everything he wanted to come back to Liverpool, if you think about it. Yeah, I don't think I'd be very fucking happy reading that if I was the owners. Anyway, let's see. I mean, it could be complete bullshit. You never know. GMS, that's give me sport. Source, no, it doesn't say sources, it usually does. GMS understands that Edwards is not actively looking to leave FSG this summer. It says this summer. Nor does he want to go elsewhere as a sporting director. So what the fuck does that leave him as then? This is an interesting one for me. This is interesting. However, he does see appeal in speaking to clubs wishing to overhaul their sporting department or where he is given freedom to build an executive team. But how does he do that if he's not as a sporting director? Can you help me out in the comments, please? Al-Hilal's approach to Edwards is down to their own desire to put a best-in-class sporting structure in place. And it talks about Edwards being tasked with the multi-club model for FSG, having looked at Bordeaux and previously in Malaga. Al-Hilal want Edwards to come in as their most senior football figure and work closely with Nafel and CEO Esteve Calzada. What does that, most senior football figure, does that mean like a chairman then? What do you reckon that means? But he's not giving any indication yet he's looking for a new challenge. But there has been, here's another bit, notable contact between the parties, which points to the fact Al-Hilal, like many other clubs, view FSG and Liverpool's success as a strong blueprint to follow. I'm not quite sure those people, those clubs, those organisations, that league, can in any way follow the English Premier League of any club. It's strange. Edwards has become the architect of overseeing successful transitions and building foundations. And obviously in that previous thing, he spoke about Liverpool's success as a strong blueprint to follow. And he's bigging up Edwards. And that, I always feel that when an author's bigging someone up, it feels like, in my opinion and my experience, is that usually if an author or a journalist is bigging someone up, they're the source of the foundation or the source of the article, if that makes sense. And that is it. There is no more in there. Now, I know a lot of people think the sun shines out of Edwards' arse. I don't, actually. I'm one of the few people that are just not really interested in Michael Edwards at all. People, seem to these days seem to be more bothered about executives and suits than they do the coaching side of things. I couldn't give a fuck about Michael Edwards, to be honest with you. But I'll keep those opinions to myself. There's nothing wrong with him. I've never heard anything bad said about him, I don't think. No, I've not heard anything bad said about him. But I do know that some people think he's a bit above his station, and I don't know. I just think that the owners clearly really respect him and like him. But I do think there's people within the club that are a bit like that. Do you know what I mean? But this isn't about that. This is about Al-Hilal approaching Edwards, and what did it say? He's shown a desire to engage and discuss. Well, that doesn't sound like someone that's like totally committed. It sounds like someone's keeping the fucking options open, doesn't it? If it's true. Now, if that was, you know, it's just, if that was anyone else, like any of these other shitty fucking, you know, people that write these articles, I'd be like, yeah, whatever. But Ben Jacobs is someone that, while I don't listen to what he says, he's kind of a bit of a name in the industry now. Do you know what I mean? Even if it's, I don't know what I'm trying, how I can explain it. Like if you told me a claim, like rumor, like I said earlier in the video, Ben Jacobs is saying this, I'd be like, yeah, right, yeah, wait till someone else says it. But then I'm reading that article and I'm thinking, that's a little bit naughty, that article. Well, is it not? What I mean by, why is it naughty? Well, because it's destabilising in a little way. It's basically out in Edwards, if you think about it, has been open to going somewhere else. And it's whether you choose to believe it or not. And normally with a lot of these exclusives, I don't pay much attention. But I actually think someone has said this to Jacobs. I don't think that he's blagging here or just trying to, you know, meet his requirements to contribute so many words to givemesport.com with a column or an exclusive or something. I feel like he's believing what he's saying, and it's where it's come from. And he does, we assume, have some kind of relationship with people out there. But the article's very glowing of Edwards, which could make you think maybe it's him that's putting it out there for some reason. I don't know. Has Remy jumped up on me? Have I got marks on my t-shirt? Like my t-shirt, look, says it all about me, really. Right, okay, I'll leave it with you. I do have more things I want to talk to you about. I will, let me think. I will be live on here at 1 o'clock this afternoon for an hour if you want to come along for a natter. That'd be very nice to join me, okay? I do have a morning briefing on my other YouTube channel. The link will be in the video description or it'll pop up on the screen. I would, you know, if you like the video, find it interesting, please thumbs up the video. But I think your comments on this are going to really be of great interest to me. You know, I know what I'm going to talk to you about today, but this is the one that which interests me the most, to be honest with you. So your comments are going to be very, very interesting for me. And if you want to support me and my channel, you can click on the love heart under the video and you can buy me a coffee or a beer, or you can join the channel if you want to help a big fucking lump of shit out. No, if you want to help the big man out. Yeah, big shout out to my channel supporters, my channel members. You guys rock. They're the people with the football next to the name in the comments. If you see one of them, they're very important people. All right, guys. Oh yeah, and I also give a shout out to everyone in my morning briefings on my other channel. Right, lots to talk about. I'll crack on. I do want to talk to you about Florian Wirtz, Paul Joyce. I've got some exclusives coming up, which might be a bit silly, etc., etc. But live stream on here at 1 o'clock. All right, guys. Cheers.